Hello, welcome to Library Connection. I'm your hostess, Mandy Cantrell, Youth Services Director at the B.B. Comer Memorial Library here in Sylacauga. Before I get started, I want to thank TV47 and Robert especially for all they do to help us put on this program. I'm very excited today, as I am most programs, especially today. We're filming this on the first day of our summer reading programs, and our kickoff program is 6 Day Creatures, and Jamie Hacker is joining me. He is the owner of all these wonderful animals and 6 Day Creatures. So
yes, ma'am.
You've driven down from Springville early this morning.
I did.
You.
Great drive down here, and we're excited to get to share our animals today with a lot of the kids here at the library. The summer reading program is the biggest part of our summer, and we love sharing these animals across the state with kids. What's amazing is a lot of the animals we have, these summer programs are the only time these kids get to see some of these different exotics that we have.
That's true, that's true.
So we have some really unique animals and some that are just, standard pet shop animals that people never will have as pets in their home.
Wow.
But it's a chance to give kids to interact with things.
That's so fun. And the theme this year of the summer reading program is Tales and Tales, T-A-I-L-S and T-A-L-E-S. So I'm going to get Jamie. Oh, you're pulling out one right now. Who is this?
All right, so this is my little, hey, look, you got to go around here and see the camera. So this is my little girl, Cece. So Cece is a chinchilla. She's a very common animal that you can find, at pet stores.
Okay.
But a lot of people don't have them as pets, but they are amazing animals. Just to get your reaction, pet that.
Oh,
they are the softest little animal in the world.
Yes, Cece.
Okay. So, and to me, this is the perfect little animal to use for Tales and Tales because my programs this year, I'm going to be, of course, paying attention to animals' tails and telling tales about those tails. But these little guys, they primarily use that tail for balance, and of course to wave off predators, things like that. They have it multiple different reasons.
Goodness.
But they are definitely one of the softest little animals in the world. But you can find them in South America in the wild.
Oh, really?
All right.
Okay.
Yep, they're up on top of the Andes Mountains in the wild because these little guys, their hair is so thick, they can't get hot. And they also, if they get wet, they get sick too. So they can't get wet, can't get hot, so they have to live in an area that is perfect for them. But they're amazing little animals. A lot of people used to really use these for their pelts, back before we had a lot of synthetics.
Yes.
But now, these are primarily just kept as pets, and they're awesome little animals to have.
How cute.
Cece, sit still.
How long have you had Cece?
Cece is, what are you, girl? You are 10 years old. Yeah, she's 10 years old now. So yeah, we've had her quite a while. Very, very sweet little animals.
That little nose and those whiskers are
those
just
whiskers
going.
are constantly going because she is trying to detect what's going on around her. And she is looking around here going, okay, why are all these bright lights on me? So, but they are great little pets to have. And this is one of the many different types of animals I have.
Oh my goodness.
But again, being able to touch that, and having the kids through interaction touch and actually learn, because the hair on these guys is so unique. Unlike a dog, you can pull a dog's hair back and find skin.
Right.
Their hair is so thick you can't find the skin.
Oh my goodness.
So that's one of the main reasons they are not able to get wet, because it won't dry and therefore they get sick.
Oh, I
so we
hit her one more time.
We don't want that to happen. But she's a sweet little girl. She may come over there and take your pen. No, she's gonna come back to me.
Yeah, she's in a very strange place for her. Well, she is beautiful.
But they are great little animals.
Oh my goodness.
And as you can see, she's just a little spoiled too.
I think so. I can't imagine what your home must be like. So you keep all of your animals at home, right?
I do. Our adventure with our animals, this all started 10 years ago.
Okay.
Where it started, somebody invited me to come bring animals to do devotions for Upward Soccer program at our church. Okay. So at first, I was like, okay, give me a curriculum. They said that we don't have one. I had like 7 animals. I took those animals that were unique animals, took them, did a devotion. By the following Monday, my 7-year-old had volunteered us to go to other churches, to schools, birthday parties, and I had people calling me. I'm like, hey, y'all, this is not what I do.
Right.
I love animals and I play with animals every day, but that's not what I do. And from there, that's where our little program, 6 Day Creatures, kind of started.
Tell me where your name came from, 6 Day Creatures.
6 Day Creatures. So on the 6th day of creation is when God created all the animals that live on the earth. So what it says, in Genesis, it says, all the beasts that creep on the earth were created on the 6th day. So that's what I have. I have all the animals that walk on the earth, crawl on the earth, wiggle on the earth, and of course I even have those that slither on the earth. Even though a lot of people don't like them, God still created them.
He did.
Okay, so he didn't create all the animals though on the 6th day, because on the 5th day is when he created the birds and the fish. Well, we have no birds and we have no fish.
Okay.
So 6-day creature works great for what we have and the type of animals that we have.
That does.
So, and we just focus on some of these amazing creatures that God has created, because it's like these little guys. It wasn't just an accident that there's only one place in the world that they live.
Right.
Okay, because it's the perfect climate for them up on the Andes Mountains. They don't get wet. And then they also do something really neat the kids are going to get to see today.
Okay.
Since they can't get wet, they take dust baths with volcanic ash. So all the kids at the library will get to see that today and check it out.
How fun.
So these little guys, they definitely take baths, just not in water.
Not in water. Well, that is neat. That would make them hard to have as a pet, probably for someone like me, I think.
It
You
really,
just have to learn a lot of education.
as long as you keep your house cool, they're pretty good.
Okay.
They just, you have to make sure they're in a cool area. I keep them in a room with their separate air conditioner just to make sure they stay the perfect temperature.
Yes. Wow. Well, how neat. She is beautiful. She's beautiful. And I'm so glad the kids will get to learn these things, because you don't see, or I don't see creatures like her very often. No.
Yeah, a lot of times, I mean, some pet stores will have these, but most parents are not going to buy it. A lot of the requirements that they have and needs are usually a little bit more than what most parents are wanting to deal with. So, but I love all creatures.
Oh, that's great. I've seen your show. You've been to my church and done some shows with the kids in the big long snake.
Yep.
What's her name?
That is Sunny.
Sunny. Okay, yeah.
So,
that's so cool.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I am no longer able to bring Sunny. The Department of Natural Resources passed a new restriction, and they have now been banned. The Burmese pythons and 250 other animals were banned from ownership. So we're still trying to work out the whole thing for the educational programs part of it. But as of right now, those snakes are not able to travel. Just found that out last Friday for sure.
Oh, goodness. A lot of guidelines you have, I'm sure. Yes.
Yeah, because of course we are insured, and we also are inspected every year by the USDA Animal Health Science Division. So they have a vet that comes out to our house, checks everything, and gives us a permit to be able to exhibit our animals.
Good.
So if you're gonna do animals and wander around with them, you need to go through the correct steps, which is what I do. I want to make sure that everything's done on the up and up, and all the animals are cared for.
Oh, yes.
Before they come see everybody.
Well, we're going to pause for a commercial break, and we'll be right back with Jamie and Cece.
Things a little bumpy in your driveway? Ox Foundation Solutions has the expertise and the know-how to repair cracks, wet basements and crawl spaces, and uneven floors in your home. Ox Foundation Solutions will come up with the right fix for you. It's time to get strong. How strong? Ox Strong. Get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Marble City Pharmacy in Sylacauga is your destination for the highest quality health care. Our knowledgeable pharmacists are always available for questions about your medications or advice on taking over-the-counter products and supplements. Our friendly staff can assist you in choosing from our full lines of compression hose and medical equipment. And don't forget our gift department. We have a great selection of unique gifts for every occasion. Stop by and see us today. Marble City Pharmacy, here for life.
Coosa Valley Medical Center, one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama, is also Sylacauga's largest employer. Services from the emergency room to surgery to cancer treatment to post-stroke care. You won't believe what's right in your backyard. It's Coosa Valley Medical Center in Sylacauga. So, if you're sick in Alabama, choose one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama. That is Coosa Valley Medical Center.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Jamie Hacker from 6-Day Creatures, and he's got another creature to show us today. Who is this?
Oh, this is my little boy JP, which is short for Jumpin' Pete, because when this little guy was little, he would jump, from probably 6 to 10 feet every single time you'd hold him.
Goodness.
But now he is definitely more chilled.
He's more used to you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So, but he's just a little eyelash crested gecko.
Okay.
And one of the reasons that I find the crested geckos so neat is because they're an animal that, unlike a chinchilla that requires so much care, these guys would be good for kids to have as pets because they require a lot less care and much easier on parents. Because we all know that when a kid asks for a pet, the parents are actually the one taking care of them.
That's right.
Unfortunately, that's the way it happens.
After a little while, it gets out.
So But these little guys are from an island called New Caledonia.
Okay.
And that little island off the coast of New Zealand, it stays in the mid-70s year-round. Okay. So with that, these little guys here live in your house at room temperature perfectly fine. Goodness. So a lot of your reptiles require heat lights.
Okay.
And I have found personally that heat lights and kids sometimes don't mix. My son, when he was about 10, he took a heat light off the top of a bearded dragon and set it on the hardwood floor. Burned a hole through the floor.
Oh, no.
My house survived. I caught it quick enough, but sometimes heat lights and reptiles with kids always don't go perfect, okay? Right. So these guys live at room temperature, and the other cool thing is most parents don't like to have to buy bugs to feed their animals, so that's another reason they'll tell kids they can't have a reptile, because they don't want to buy bugs, they don't want to buy rats, those type things. So these little guys here, what they actually will do is they'll eat a powder diet that you mix with water, because it simulates the diet that they eat in the wild.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, simulates the diet they eat in the wild by eating the nectar and everything. So, but they are eyelash crested geckos, but they have no eyelids, so they can't blink. Most of your lizards have eyelids, but these guys do not have eyelids. But they are awesome. And then the crested part is obviously, I don't know if anybody can even see it, but they have these crests.
Yes, I see.
Those little ridges there,
Those
but they are
sharp.
very, very soft.
They are.
They're not sharp. Feel it.
Oh, no, yes.
It feels like velvet.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. They have no claws, anything else. They use them to hold on.
They can hang on.
Oh yeah, they can hang on. Goodness. Very, very cool little animals. But these are eyelash crested geckos.
Eyelash crested gecko.
Yep.
JP. All right.
Yep,
We'll
JP.
see him today later on. I know. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Great. Well, who cares for your animal besides you? I know you have children.
So at home, me and my wife and my 2 kids.
Okay.
So when it all started, yes, my kids were younger and they were home. Now I've got a 20-year-old that's about to graduate college, and I've got a 17-year-old that's fixing to start at senior year of high school. Oh. So they still help. I do have some others that come in and help me with things and are helping me this summer with different things.
Sure, yes.
Just different kids from the church and things like that. So, but we do
great
have
experience.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And they love the interaction. Gives them time to get to learn people and learn animals.
Oh yeah.
Because really, like I was telling you how this started. I've always, worked with kids in children's church. I mean, since I was a teen. And then just for my love of kids and working with them, and then my love of animals, tying both of them together, it's kind of like a dream for me.
That's perfect. That's
so,
perfect.
and this is where my passion is, and this is what I love to do. So I love to travel with my animals every day and be able to let others experience them.
Well, I've seen your shows, like I said, at our church, and going to see one in just a little bit. I love the way you're showing how neat they are, how cool they are, but you're teaching a lot about the animals too. I like that, because there's nothing like learning it in person,
Right. And the way I look, what I always tell everybody, it's education through interaction.
That's
true. I mean, you can sit there and read a book all day long, which that's perfect for the library.
Yeah, I know.
But actually being able to touch and feel and see up close and actually see what it is, to me, is better than the description with the animals.
It is.
And that can really lock things into their brain.
Right.
What's been amazing for me is I've had kids that's been 3-4 years since they've seen me, and they'll come up to me, and maybe they were 3-4 years old, they'll come back to me and just recite exactly what I said and talk about my animals and everything.
Wow.
And I'm like, how do you remember all that? And their moms go, well, they talk about your animals every day.
Oh, good.
And I'm like, well, okay.
They saw it, they touched it, they heard it, maybe they read about it when they finished because they wanted to know more. That is so interesting.
Yeah, and I have kids, whenever kids will get different animals and get new pets, they'll send me pictures on Facebook and tell me about their animals. Now, unfortunately, I don't remember all these kids.
No, you see a lot of kids, I'm sure, yeah.
Hey, but I love to see their animals, and they'll send me different pictures and stuff of them.
How fun. They love sharing that.
Yep.
Well, you might have another animal trainer, presenter in, years from now when they grow up.
Yeah, you never know.
That would be great.
Never know who it's going to be and what you're going to do.
That's
Because I promise you, I didn't plan on doing this. This was really a calling by God. I've been a nurse for over 20 years.
Oh, okay.
And so that's what I thought I'd be doing all my life. Never once did I ever think that I'd be playing with animals and going around doing this. This was not my plan. So it was God's plan.
Yes, it is. That is great. Now, you must have to buy a lot of special equipment, special food, a lot of training on your part.
Yeah, I mean, I try to educate myself every single day. I am like a big 5-year-old, and I ask why all the time.
That's good.
And I always encourage kids to ask why. Even if it's going to drive their parents crazy, I still encourage them to ask why. So as far as, equipment and everything, I have met lots of people all across the United States.
Right.
And anytime that I don't know something or don't have the resource for it, I know people I can call. And that's really what I have done. And just so people are not confused, I'll tell everybody where each one of these animals comes from, but I've not been fortunate enough to go wander around the world and get animals. But even more than that, even if I did go see these animals, like if I went to New Caledonia to see the crested gecko,
Right.
I wouldn't want to actually touch or anything else with the crested gecko. I'd want to observe them in the wild. Y'all, because there's pets that you can handle and hold here. There's so many animals in the wild to look at and observe, and they're part of our ecosystem. They need to be left in the wild.
Yes.
So I don't travel and get my animals in the wild. All of my animals are captive bred animals that come from different friends of mine. So I've traveled, honestly, from Oklahoma to Illinois, all over getting different animals.
Oh, goodness.
So, but just here in the United States, not out of the States.
Okay, good. Well, he is precious. How cute. Is he the only one of those that you have?
No, I have quite a few of these. I think probably about 10 right now.
Oh, wow. Good.
Yeah.
How many animals do you have? I mean, that's a big question. You may not know an exact number, but you have lots of different kinds.
It varies somewhere between 90 and 120.
Oh, goodness.
Because of course some of them have babies sometimes, and like right now I'm thinking more towards the 120 because we have quite a few babies at the house right now.
Oh, goodness.
And we always have, like right now I have eggs from a snake in the incubator. So we always have something going on at the house bringing new life.
I bet.
And every single time I see something pop out of an egg, it's just like the first time I saw it. I'm like a little kid just watching, going, okay, what's it gonna look like?
It's amazing. Wow, that is.
My wife thinks that I get more excited seeing the animals come out of the eggs than I did when I saw my kids be born.
Oh,
it's not true.
I would hope not.
It's not true, but I get pretty excited with it because I just love it every single time it happens.
Wow. Why do you think it's important for kids to know about these animals? I mean, I'm probably never going to travel and see to this island and see these animals, but just.
Well, one of the reasons I think it's so important is because I've come across so many kids that are even scared of dogs, cats, everything else. I just want to make sure they all know that there are different creatures, and if they come encounter with them, the ones in the wild, yes, they may not be the safest thing, but the ones that are here, the ones I have, they're safe and calm because I've handled them, I've raised them, I've had them since they come out of eggs.
Used to people,
But a lot of that is really just to kind of let them know that all the way through the world, there are different animals, whether you like that type of animal or not. God created every single one of them, and they all serve their purpose. It's just like I have these massive cockroaches at my house. Okay, I did not bring them today. But I have them, and people are always just disgusted by cockroaches, which is a natural thing. But on the island of Madagascar, that just happens to be the perfect diet for the really beautiful panther chameleons that you'll see that pop up at screensavers, the bright ones, the really big ones. That just happens to be their favorite diet. So just because you don't like the big roach doesn't mean that the chameleon doesn't. And without that, would the chameleon thrive? Probably not. So every single creature on Earth has its place.
Right.
And that's what I like to just be able to show everybody, and how the life cycle works with every single creature there is.
That is so neat. I just love it. Well, we're going to pause for another commercial break, and we'll be right back to talk some more with Jamie.
Things a little bumpy in your driveway? Ox Foundation Solutions has the expertise and the know-how to repair cracks, wet basements and crawl spaces, and uneven floors in your home. Ox Foundation Solutions will come up with the right fix for you. It's time to get strong. How strong? Ox Strong. Get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Marble City Pharmacy in Sylacauga is your destination for the highest quality health care. Our knowledgeable pharmacists are always available for questions about your medications or advice on taking over-the-counter products and supplements. Our friendly staff can assist you in choosing from our full lines of compression hose and medical equipment. And don't forget our gift department. We have a great selection of unique gifts for every occasion. Stop by and see us today. Marble City Pharmacy, here for life.
Coosa Valley Medical Center, one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama, is also Sylacauga's largest employer. Services from the emergency room to surgery to cancer treatment to post-stroke care. You won't believe what's right in your backyard. It's Coosa Valley Medical Center in Sylacauga. So, if you're sick in Alabama, choose one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama. That is Coosa Valley Medical Center.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Jamie Hacker from 6 Day Creatures. He is our kickoff program for our summer reading events this summer, and I'll make a little plug for our programs here. We're because of COVID, our auditorium is large, but we always have a large crowd, so we decided we would have our programs outdoors at the park across from Bluebell. It's Central Park, and we'll have them under Bluebell Pavilion. If the weather is bad, we'll go to the rec center. Jim Armstrong has graciously allowed us to use either one of those places, so I'm very grateful to Jim. So I hope you can join us. Look at our Facebook page, look at our website, and find out when our programs are. So, and we're going to go over there in just a little while.
Yep, we'll have the animals there.
Yeah. Now I know you do library programs. You've done church programs. What other programs do you do?
So. During the summer, libraries, summer camps, vacation Bible schools is the main thing that we do. During the school year, we do usually each day we go to different schools, doing programs at the schools. Then we do birthday parties. We have done grand openings pretty much anywhere where there is people that like animals, we will go. But I've had people use the animals to entice people to come to multiple different places.
Oh wow! Well, that is a great pull there to have some animals there. How can someone get in touch with you?
Probably the easiest thing is Facebook or Instagram, and both of those are 6 Day Creatures. That's the number 6 TH Day Creatures. 6 Day Creatures Animal Adventures. You can find us both there, but we also, our website, 6 Day Creatures, is, like I said, the number 6 TH daycreatures.com. So any of those ways will get directly to us.
I've looked at most of those, and your website I know is great. It gave me all the information I needed to get in touch with you today, so how fun. Well, do you have any favorite animals? I almost hate to ask that, but they're not going to know if you tell me.
I will tell you my current favorite that I have running around my house right now, and everybody thinks there's no way this is true. I have an African crested porcupine.
Oh my goodness!
And when I say he's probably from the ground up, he's probably about that tall. Okay, so he's pretty big once he puffs up all his quills. And yes, most of his quills are a foot long or so.
Wow.
So and yes, they're sharp, but this little boy is so sweet. He will just kind of curl up in my lap. He loves to have his chin rubbed, and then he licks your hand, which his tongue is much rougher than a cat's tongue.
Oh goodness!
And he'll just sit there, and if you'll sit there and pet him and let him lick you, he'll sit there all day. And that's probably my favorite right now. And his name's Quilliam. But the unfortunate thing is we did get him to be able to bring him to programs. And like I can take him at home and he'll follow me and run around and everything else. He refuses to get into an enclosure to travel. So we've tried it a couple times and finally I said, you know what, you're not going to travel because you're not happy. So I'm not going to force an animal. I'm not going to, make it miserable just to make it go do what I want it to do.
Right.
But he is awesome. But he's an African crested porcupine.
I can't imagine having him sit in my lap. That sounds
he just kind of comes
dangerous.
across he just comes across and lays down. Now, if he gets startled, of course, I've had him poke me.
I'm sure.
He'll back into me and poke me. His favorite thing to eat in the mornings, which I fed him just before I left the house this morning, is bananas. So I always put the banana in his food last because the second you drop the banana, you can't get to anything else. He puts those quills completely up and blocks you and will not let you in his enclosure.
Oh my goodness!
He's protective of that banana.
Well, I like bananas too.
I do too, but I don't know. I don't like them that much.
Oh goodness!
I'm not gonna hurt somebody over them.
Well, so he's your current favorite. Do your pets have favorite handlers? You, your wife, your children, or?
Different ones react different. The funniest, it's really the funniest thing. I have a bearded dragon. With that little dragon, what they do is when they get excited, when they see, like the little boys, when they see a girl they like, they'll puff their beard up. Their beard turns jet black. And then usually they'll start bobbing their head, looking all silly, and then they'll run back and forth. Well, I have one that does that to my 20-year-old.
Oh.
Yeah, to my daughter. So we always joke that that's her boyfriend.
Oh, good.
And he just runs back and forth, and the second she'll pick him up, he just goes, okay, you got me.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So, but he doesn't do that to anyone else.
Well,
so
good for her.
There's different odd connections with all the different animals.
Just like people.
Oh, just like people. And I have an animal that everybody's going to get to see today at the library. It's called a kinkajou. So he's great with me, but he pretty much hates my kids.
Oh,
He
no.
screams and yells at them and tries to reach out and grab them and everything else.
Oh.
And you'll get to see a kinkajou in a little while. If you don't know what a kinkajou is, you just need to Google that. It's Kinkajou. I can't explain what it is.
Okay.
Look it up. They are awesome little animals. He's my buddy, so
Well, I can't wait.
he's great with me.
They seem kind of like they're all pets to you. They're all your pets.
I'd make jokes that they're all my children.
Oh.
Because I take care of them. I can tell you pretty much everything about each one and where they came from, when I obtained them, what they eat, everything, and I handle them all every day. So yes, they are my pets. It's not just something I have as a business to travel around.
You love them.
This is my life with my children.
How fun. What do you do about the animals that sleep during the day and are awake at night, or do you have any nocturnal animals?
I do have nocturnal, which the kinkajou that I was just telling you about is nocturnal.
Oh, okay.
So in the room where he is, when he's there during the day, he has a blanket that's over enclosure.
Okay.
So the different ones that are nocturnal, they have different things. Most of them will have like a hut or something where they can hide. Because at my house, and yes, all these animals are at my house, I have created one room that's warmer for reptiles, another room that's perfect for mammals in my basement. So it's set up with the perfect environments and everything for each individual animal.
How fun.
And no, there's not just animals running loose through my house everywhere, because every single animal has different requirements. Just like different kids, their love language may be a little different than the next. So every single animal has a different requirement, different food. So no, they're not all just running loose, which I have people ask that all the time.
No, I can't. Yeah, because they wouldn't all get along.
No,
I'm sure
they
the
would
animals
not.
wouldn't all get along.
They would not, because some would think the others are food. So no, we're not doing that.
That's true. That's the way they're made.
That's the life cycle. That's the way it works.
Oh, wow. Who gets to name the animals?
It's usually, it's just kind of a combination. It depends on the kind of who. We'll kind of toss names out until something sticks.
Right.
We've gone with different themes, like we have hedgehogs and they're on a Disney theme.
Oh, okay.
We have our bearded dragons are typically on a theme with drinks, different drinks.
Just whatever.
We just come up with random things.
How fun. Well, I know you enjoy what you do. I can tell just by chatting with you. I know that. And I am looking so forward to our program today. That'll be fun. I hope you'll come and join us. I know when this airs, this program will already be over, but please come and join us and find them on Facebook and your website. Sounds like a fun birthday party or grand opening or something like that.
Or if you just want to see animals and come play. Hey, and don't think it's just for kids. The past 2 weeks, I have had a 40-year-old for a birthday party, 40-year-old lady.
Oh, wow.
And then I have another one that I think she's turning 35 that I'm doing, I think, tomorrow.
Wow.
So it's not just kids.
You're never too old to learn about these cool animals.
Or you're like me and always just a kid
That's
in a big
true.
body. My wife just wants me to grow up, and I'm not going to.
Don't do it. Don't
I'm
do
not.
it. Well, thank you, Jamie, so much for joining me today, and thank you for joining me on Library Connection.